Hey team, I want to talk about stress today and how we relate to stress as far as it goes with hair in the salon. First is our commitment. Our commitment is to make a difference in the team, with you, and with our guests. And first, I'll tell you a story um, of how stress relates to yourself and your body and your hair. So I was told one time by this doctor at a conference, there's no such thing as stress. And you could like hear there was 2,000, 3,000 people in the auditorium, and they were all like, "Yeah, right." And that's what I said. Yeah, right. Because if there's no such thing as stress, why do I have so much? And he said, "I can prove it to you. Go get a bucket and fill it full of stress and bring it back." And I was thinking, wow, well, if that's true, what is stress? And he went on with his presentation to discuss how stress is perception. It's what we believe stress to be, which is the significance that we put on whatever it is, the value that we put on it. And a good example is like for me is traffic. I used to have so much stress around traffic to where when I would get to work after being in such a long wait and going so slow, or when I would get home after going through such traffic, I would be so wound up and frustrated and stressed, and I would let everybody else know about the traffic and try to get them on board with what was going on with me. And I was really able to identify every bit of that is the significance that I put on it, because I'm still traveling back and forth. I have the option to change my mindset and make it enjoyable. And so that's what I did. I was like, how can I do that? And so I started listening to audio books and things like that. And I started doing some other things like gratitude to be able to change that mindset. And now I don't get stressed in traffic, just a shift in mindset. And so, however, it's still, that just gives you an example, but stress still plays a role in how we perceive things and how we go about life and how it affects us. So let's talk real quick about how stress affects us. Let's say I'm in that same traffic. What happens is, a long time ago, we were built to where if the saber-toothed tiger was coming at us or something like that, we would run or fight. Like our bodies are so amazingly built that we have fight or flight, meaning that if the stressor comes in, we choose to either run or fight, but our brain isn't really working. It's the subconscious brain working. The conscious part, which makes all your great decisions and logic and thought process, it shuts down. When that happens, all of your blood starts pumping, your heart starts pumping really fast. Your blood leaves all of your organs in your body and goes to your arms and your legs, and your body is saying, all right, now you have all the juice you need to run and fight or whatever it is. Cortisol is dripping in the back of your brain, which is pumping your adrenaline. It goes through your body and it causes your immune system to drop down, your organs to drop down. And all this was amazingly designed for stress and stressors like saber-toothed tiger or you're about to fall off a cliff or things like that. However, what we don't take into account is the things that we give value to every day that create the same reaction. The text message you get, the phone call you get, the what a person said to you or didn't say to you, what Facebook has going on, what the news media has going on. All these things can still replicate that cortisol being dripped down into there, your conscious brain being shut off, your subconscious brain being kicked in, all your blood leaving to your arms and legs. You can't think straight, and all that happens. And it happens every day to many people. And that's why we have health issues and hair loss, is when all that happens and your blood leaves your system, your immune system shuts down. And it doesn't kick back on until your body is back going again. And if we have stressor after stressor after stressor, your immune system stays shut down, causing a lot of issues. And that's chronic health issues, arthritis, and anything chronic comes from that, as well as hair loss. And that's where we come in, is by working on ways to reduce stress for you as a team and for our guest. We have a couple different tools for that. One is breathing. I have another video on teaching how to breathe, and please watch that. It's box breathing. It's an amazing way to help your guest in less than 30 seconds and you reduce your heart rate by about 20 beats per minute. Meditation is the number one scientifically proven way to reduce stress. Meditation gets you present with the now and being mindful with what's going on now, which is reality. If not, then you're living in the past or you're living in the future, and neither one of those is reality because the past has already happened, the future hasn't come. CBD, another great thing we offer there in the salon is CBD, and that's if they give them the liquid, in about 15 minutes, they should see a marked difference between, like if their stress was on an 8 on a scale of 1 to 10. Usually in about 15 minutes, they may be at a 5 or 6, so check in with them and see how that works. CBD is phenomenal for reducing stress. And the fourth and last way is just listening to understand. When you have empathy for somebody, when you can see them as a person and leave thinking about yourself and start thinking about them as the guest in front of you, you will hear them differently. Because most people listen to respond, which is a way of listening where your thoughts are still going on in your head and you're just going to respond back out of that. And so just listening to understand, like really hearing what people have to say, makes a big difference. What happens is when people feel heard, they feel complete. So if you have an upset guest, you have a guest who is stressed, this could be your family member too. This could be outside the salon, your spouse, your children, loved one, or anyone. When people feel heard, they feel complete. So being able to listen to understand helps a lot. All these ways are great, and this is the way that we approach here at Salon Adele as a team. These are great ways to reduce your stress as well as the guest. Thank you so much for being the best part of who we are.